So, you've bought a new graphics card and you're wondering how to get it properly installed into your PC. If this is you, you've clicked on the right video, because in this video I'll be showing you how to install your graphics card the right way. Before I get into the video though, when was the last time, if ever, you upgraded your graphics card? Let me know in the comments down below. And before you get your new graphics card installed, the first thing I'd recommend doing is downloading the installer to your new graphics card. For instance, I will be upgrading to a 1660 Ti, so I will go to Nvidia's website and I'll search for the 1660 Ti drivers. Here I will download the newest driver available, and then I'll just leave that on my desktop or in my downloads or something like that. And if you've got an AMD GPU, go to AMD's website and download the drivers for your graphics card there. And if you've upgraded to an Intel GPU, go to Intel's website and download the drivers from there as well. But hold your horses, don't install these drivers yet, just leave them in your downloads folder or wherever they are, because we'll need them later. And the whole reason why I'm recommending you do this now is because when you get rid of your old drivers and Windows sees that you don't have graphics drivers installed, it will just try to download very old drivers from like 2 years ago, and they're going to be useless for gaming at the minute, because if you're playing anything new, they're not going to perform particularly great in that game. So this step allows us to avoid this, but more on that in a bit. I would say the second step is an absolute requirement, and this is a program called DDU. What it stands for is Display Driver Uninstaller, and what it essentially does is it completely unroots your old graphics card drivers, leaving no trace of them on your system. Because if you uninstall it through Control Panel or Apps and Programs, which is built into Windows, it's going to be leaving traces of your old driver, and this could potentially cause performance issues, crashes, or even blue screens. DDU ensures that this doesn't happen when done correctly, so if you want a hassle-free gaming experience, make sure you get DDU installed, and I'll leave a link for it down in the description below as well. To start the Display Driver Uninstaller process, restart your PC while holding Shift. What this will do is it will bring up the Startup Repair options, and what you want to do from here is you want to go to Troubleshoot and then Startup Options. Now reboot to this, and then when it comes up with the prompts, press 4 to boot into safe mode. Booting into safe mode is vital for this step, as there are no additional drivers running in Windows. It's basically the only drivers that are running are the ones that get the PC working essentially. And you'll know if you're in safe mode because you won't have any network connection, and the resolution will be really low, and your wallpaper shouldn't be there either, and this is how you know you'll be in safe mode, and it should say somewhere on the top as well. And safe mode is what you want, as this will allow DDU to work its job perfectly. It will unroot any old drivers completely, leaving no trace of them on your system. And I believe if you do this on a normal boot anyway, DDU will just say it's recommended that you do this in safe mode anyway, so just make sure you do it in safe mode. So from here, open DDU wherever you've got it installed, and it should open and it should let you select your graphics card driver. For instance, in this PC I've got an RX 580 at the minute, so make sure you select the manufacturer of the GPU you've got in there. It should choose it automatically, but if not, make sure it aligns with the graphics card manufacturer that you've got. And as we're replacing the GPU, select clean and shut down, because we don't want it booting back up, we just want it to turn off, as we can replace the graphics card from there. And once it's finished, it should just turn off the PC, which is what we want. And now we can move on to the physical install of the graphics card, and this could potentially be the most daunting part depending on how experienced you are, but let me be honest, it's probably the easiest part. Start off with unplugging all cables from your graphics card, so this is your display and your PCIe power cables if necessary. Not all GPUs have PCIe power cables, but make sure all these are unplugged, and then when they're unplugged, unscrew the graphics card from the back of the case. If you look to the right of the PCIe slot, there should be a little retention tab. Press this down and the graphics card should be able to be pulled out with no hassle at all. This graphics card that I've pulled out is an RX 580, and I am actually making a video on this and seeing how this one performs in 2023, so make sure you stay subscribed for that, because I think that'll be an interesting content piece. To get the new one installed is basically the reverse of what you just did. Simply just insert your new graphics card into the PCIe slot and you'll know when it's slotted because the retention clip will just pop up. Now just make sure it's screwed in properly at the back of the case and plug in your required cables. This 1660 Ti only has one 8-pin PCIe power connector, so that's the only one I'm going to put in. The PCIe power cables do vary for each graphics card, so make sure you've got all of your power connectors hooked up properly. Before booting up, I would recommend not connecting your PC to the network, and this is what I covered in part 1 because we already have the driver package downloaded and ready to install already on our system. Because if you have your network connected, Windows will see that you've got no driver installed and it will install a driver from like 2021, which is obviously no use as we have a much newer one installed on our system. So as soon as we boot into Windows, make sure you get these drivers installed, the new ones which you downloaded earlier, and it's a relatively simple process. As we're not connected to any network, it will probably come up with some smart screen error or something like that. They're totally safe, you downloaded it from the manufacturer's website, so you will be okay. From here, follow the on-screen instructions, and if it says express install, just do that. It's much easier. You don't need to be doing a custom install with these, especially as these are clean drivers. Also, if you've got an Nvidia GPU, you will probably be prompted to install GeForce Experience as well. I highly recommend installing this as it will allow you to take screenshots, record gameplay, and it's very convenient for driver updates as well. So if you've got an Nvidia GPU, make sure you get that installed. Depending on your system, it shouldn't take too long to install drivers. 3-4 minutes tops, even if you've got a slower PC. It shouldn't take that long. And once they're installed, it will probably prompt you to restart your PC. And even if it doesn't, make sure you get your PC restarted as you've just installed new drivers. It's best practice just to give it a restart. And once you've rebooted, congratulations, your drivers are now installed and you're ready to play games on your brand new graphics card. But make sure you connect your PC to the internet as well. Also, Nvidia GeForce Experience does require an account to use, but if you've already got a graphics card from Nvidia, you probably have an account, so make sure you sign into that as well. And yeah, I have said in the past that I actually do genuinely believe AMD's software is better than Nvidia's. I know a few people are not going to be happy with me saying that, but I kind of think it is. If you've got to this point with no issues, congratulations, you have successfully installed your brand new graphics card, and you've also got rid of the old drivers properly and installed the new ones too. Also, make sure you connect your PC back to the network. I've said this a couple of times now, but I have made this mistake quite a bit in the past as well, so yeah. So hopefully you should be seeing much better performance in your favourite games, and you might be even able to play new games which you couldn't before because your graphics card might have been too weak beforehand, but now you have a nice fresh graphics card in your system and you're able to play games with better graphics and higher frame rates, and what PC gamer doesn't like that? So, if you found this video helpful, leave it a like and even stay subscribed because I do work on quite a few how-to pieces of content like this, and I also benchmark a lot of graphics cards here on the channel. So if you're looking forward to that content, make sure you subscribe. But with that being said, I'm going to leave the video here. Like it if you like this one, stay subscribed for more tech content, and I'll catch you in the next one.